Yeah. Yeah. Brakes? What about the brakes? Yeah. Great. What are you doing there?
Getting this thing off.
We didn't check the front ones, though.
Well, they will work, but if you want, I can do it.
Yeah, let's check. Why not? I'm here. We're here, you know? Okay. Yeah. Good.
And the glove compartment lock is all loose.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So I have to tighten that too.
Yeah, I tried looking at it.
A bit of hesitation. Some rattling. See, I'm just holding the gas and it's hesitating. See?
Yeah.
Something,
Timing, maybe? No?
I see it.
Fuel pump?
See, it's dying out. This was doing this before. Oh, it's stalled. Carburetor needs to be. But it's still cold. I think the fact that
It's cold.
the choke doesn't fully warm it up is also the problem. Once it gets going, it's okay, but it can barely. I always check to see if it's Joe, you know. So I'm giving it half gas here, and it's just hesitating barely. The accelerator's halfway to the floor now. It's barely moving. Yeah. See, it hesitates, yeah.
Well, training works well.
Yeah. Once it warms up, it's okay, but
No, you're right. She's cold, though, because I remember my Buick was like that, too. Yeah, it should have warmed up like 5 minutes or so, maybe even.
yeah.
Especially for a car, considering that it never drove that much. That doesn't help either, right?
No.
No.
Once it warms up, it was better. Like I took it on the highway and then came back.
When was this?
This morning.
Really?
Yeah. Also, the RPM is like really low there.
Yeah, the carburetor, the brain of the engine.
Yeah. So I'm really trying to get the gas to move here. It doesn't have something wrong with it. It could be the carburetor is gummed up. That's a possibility. It might need to be rebuilt, I think, maybe. You know, if it's been 15 years or so that hasn't been rebuilt.
Yeah. That would be quite a project in itself.
See, look, you're
Yeah.
What happens when you floor it? It hesitates? Still hesitates?
halfway to the floor now, and it's
Wow.
barely moving here. I think the carburetor is not.
Acting properly.
Milton, when do you think it was rebuilt last, that carburetor?
Gee, I have the records at home. I kept all
It's got to
the
be
records.
at least 15 or 20 years.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think.
long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially sitting outside. See that? Can you feel that?
Yeah. Or is it a timing issue?
Unless, because they were the ones that Did you have that problem before you brought it to the garage when they messed around with the distributor?
Well, not like this. This is new.
Since they changed the distributor.
Yes.
So maybe it's also, maybe they messed it up too. Maybe it's not timed properly. It could be, you have to check the timing. Maybe it's too retarded, the timing. It seems a bit sluggish, as if it was a retarded timing.
Man, look how thick the glass was at that time. I hadn't noticed that before.
You have to redo everything they did. It's useless. Anyway, that's the last time you bring it to any of those plans.
Yeah, that carb cleaner, as I told Milton, it's the Italian tune-up, you know, that stuff really works, though.
Well, yeah, for certain things.
Yeah, temporary.
It's an old Mercedes behind us in the 80s.
Really? Oh, yeah.
See when it warms up. We'll take it on the highway and see if it warms up a bit and gets better. But there's timing and carburetor. We need to check it.
I'm wondering what this hole is here on the top of the armrest on the right. Seatbelt?
Yeah. See on my side, there's this thing.
Oh yeah.
The bracket just disconnected.
That's weird, eh? Oops. Yeah, but it hasn't ran enough, this car, dude. That's the thing.
Yeah. I'll check on some of the forums and see what that hesitation is. There's only a quarter tank of gas. Did you put gas in last time? You said you didn't fill up the tank, though.
I didn't, but I got it up to about 3/4.
Okay. Getting a little bit better. See there, that get a little power there.
Whoa.
I think it's just getting warm. The fact that it has trouble warming up.
It only idled for like what, 2 minutes maybe?
Yeah.
3 minutes?
Yeah, that's low idle. It didn't really warm up. I'll just check to see if there's no traffic on this before I join in.
I remember when I got my 65 LeSabre, it spent so many years in the backyard. It barely ran. It wouldn't even stay running. And then I got some carb cleaner.
Yeah.
It ran like a top. But then again, I changed the spark plugs.
Go on there.
Change the spark plugs, change the spark plug wires, air filter.
We're gonna take St. Patrick. We're not gonna sit in the traffic.
Man, look at this traffic on a Sunday afternoon, man.
Well, they have construction in there. I took that this morning.
Well, it still is a lovely ride, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, true American automobile. This ain't no Pinto, that's for sure. Does that old radio still work?
Yeah, it had been, yes.
Norman?
You know where that industrial area is? Like Victoria, towards Victoria?
Yeah. You know, my parents, they live in off Victoria, in Lachine, on 49th. What is this thing in the middle of the top of the dash? Is that a clock?
No, it's a tailgate. It says the tailgate is ajar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It lights up if it's a jar.
Jeez.
Boy.
Yeah, the lock. Oh, the whole lock
dude.
just came right off. Another lock.
Jesus, bro.
Yeah.
So that, and the face, you have to go.
I love looking at people's heads turn. They're like, what? What's that?
Shit, no. That's flooring it. It's not hesitating, so it's not the fuel pump that can keep up. See? The fuel pump couldn't pump it along it.
Dangerous. At least it's not in the Metropolitan. It just needs a lot of exercise, that's the thing. This car is like a human, it needs to move around, you know. So do like you did eventually, Milton, when she's A1, go take a nice ride somewhere out west or whatever and enjoy yourself, you know.
Or maybe we can drive to Ottawa in it sometime.
Oh, don't say that.
We got to get the exhaust fixed too. We can go to this place called Federal Exhaust.
Federal Muffler, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a friend who worked there.
And because they just put it in neutral. You can hear it, it's loud, eh?
Yeah.
It's not really loud.
You see the RPMs have gone up.
I don't think it's the muffler. Oh, maybe it's yeah, she can boogie. It's like being in a Caprice, you know. It's it's not even a full-size car for that time, but today it's a boat. It's intriguing.
See there, it hesitated again. Anyway, that's normal. If the thing's sitting for a while and it needs to be cleaned up and maybe a carb rebuild or something. Now, in case you guys never saw the first video I did of this car last year,
Now my friend Ed here, his father bought this car brand new in '75, pretty much when I was born, and he's had it ever since. It's got over 200,000 miles, not kilometers, because in Canada we didn't get kilometers on cars until '78. 270
miles. Yeah.
Holy cow! I thought it was 200.
270.
So he's basically used this car sparingly, and I want to mention it because it's important, because this kind of thing is very unusual. Most people would have kept the car 3, 4, 5, 6 years. That's about it. Not you know, not more than 40. So it's very commendable, because it's just a question of preservation, you know, using things diligently, proper maintenance, and it's still here. It doesn't even store the car inside. It's under a carport. So it's really a testament how you know, we often shit on '70s cars and say, oh, they're Malaise era cars and this and that, but they're still well-made American cars. They're not maybe as well-made as previous years, but still, you can't blame the car companies entirely. They were under a lot of pressure by the U.S. government for federal safety mandates, and then there was fuel mileage, and it's just like, you know. So I think they did pretty well considering what circumstances they were building cars under. And yes, this car is safer than cars from previous decades. God, it's running a lot better.
Yeah, as it warms up, it's better, right?
But you see, this is the kind of car that it's so rare that I would never want to see this car go into the wrong hands, you know. I would be horrified, because it's been kept in such an original condition, you know. Sure, it might need a little body work, paint job, stuff like that. A car this old, I mean. But again, it's exactly as it, you know, rolled out of the factory. It's completely stock.
Got those hubcaps on there now, the 4 hubcaps.
Yeah. I was telling my friend earlier, it's funny to be writing this, because I was telling my friend earlier, you know, my friend Nick, who's 23, I said, you know, I said prior to your '92 Mustang, like in the 80s and under, cars like this, in French they called them les chars à carbu, the carbureted cars, referring to how they smelled often like gas because they were carbureted. You can smell it now, you know. That's just typical of that time.
Better. Oh yeah, now we're going. See? It was when it was cold, I think. So.
I would still spray a whole can of carb cleaner down there, and
we can try that.
Then you're laughing, you know.
I think it just needs to be opened up, you know, and like used.
Yeah.
Putting around doesn't heat up enough.
Ed, you still like better driving your little cars compared to this?
Well, they're all different, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, this is nice. It floats along.
It floats along. Yeah, it's got some room in it, especially for a big guy like me and you know. Yeah. But Milton, it must feel pretty weird to have somebody else driving this, eh?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm so used to sitting in this thing and driving it.
Well, you know what they say, it's in good hands. You know?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's not worried about that.
I'm documenting everything too, so if he makes a mistake, it's recorded. I'm sure it wouldn't be your fault, believe me.
Look at this road here.
But that's another advantage of these big old cars. They're noticeable. They rarely get into accidents, you know. I don't like it when people put, you know, pictures of wrecked cars on Facebook. I hate that. I don't ever want to see that.
There, did you see that? That's what happened. Lost something right there. I'm trying to think of.
I'm having a flashback of the movie The Burbs. The guy comes out with this like 74 Pontiac Granville to take out trash in a thunderstorm at like the middle of the night. Like comes out, then backs the car back up, and it's like not even running well. Ooh, man, is she ever hot. Wow. Holy cow, I can barely see the distributor even. Look at that, look how rough she's idling. Not supposed to be idling that rough.
Who took this off?
I did.
Where's the washer?
What washer?
That's what I said. Where's the washer?
What
There was a washer here. Where? Leave it like that.
Seemed a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because when before.
Up when does it still warm up a bit more?
Maybe.
If you let go of the gas, what happens? Yeah, okay. It's probably okay. You can put it in drive and just make sure you don't release the parking brake until you're put it in drive and keep your foot on the brake.
Say when you were younger? Out
Me?
west? Out west? Yeah, you! No?
Riding in cars like this?
Ah,
We never really had any interesting cars.
no, it doesn't have to do with interest. I mean, you know, it doesn't. you know, the 80s. People had cars from the 70s, right? And, you know, when you were a kid. Never mind, forget it.
I don't even know. We had a red van.
Wait a minute, you're 36, right?
37.
37. How close? You could have just said yeah.
29.
29. I guess maybe sometimes I do forget your age because, yeah, you're married to Ed, and Ed is actually, you know,
An old fart.
2 years older than me. Right, Ed? You're 48? No, you're 49.
Step on the gas harder there. Give it shit now. Go.
Give it shit. Give it hell.
Go.
It's a machine.
Go.
Let her have it.
Yeah. You feel the hesitation there? Okay.
It's okay.
Is that normal? Is it like that?
Yeah.
Really?
About, yeah.
Seems very sluggish.
Beautiful
We
evening.
had an Echo.
What Echo? No, that was a transmission, I think.
No, that was a car we had.
Oh, an Echo. Oh, no, you can't compare an Echo with this. It's
My mom had an Acura that she got from her friend.
an Acura. Now we're talking. You looking at your phone, Ed?
No, I'm trying to fix the lock.
Oh. Yeah,
I
we
need
hit.
the key,
I think we hit a bump and the thing
I'll do
just
it
broke
next
off. There's that church I love.
We can try to fix
Very
the
50s.
there too.
It's cool.
Whoa. All I'm missing is hearing sky rockets in flight, afternoon delight, afternoon delight.
Why that song?
Because it's an iconic song from the 70s when this car was probably made around 75. You know, just like Mercedes is nice and all that, but it's just, I bet you it's not comfortable in there. You know, and it's, you know, it's a Mercedes. It probably feels very cold. And,
There's a lot of space in this car.
yeah, man. And believe it or not, at the time, this wasn't even a full size.
You guys are.
This wasn't even a
Less
full.
space?
It wasn't even a full size car at this time. This was intermediate, which means like, you know, between a compact car and a full size car.
So Edward, you have two in this seat and then two in the back seat.
That's right.
There's 3 seat belts. There's 1 seat belt here. There's 3 and 2 in the back. So it's an 8 passenger.
Right. But when you were traveling, you'd have two sitting backwards.
Yeah. Well, usually 4 in there and 2 in the front. My mom would stay with the 3 kids and I would sit in the front. Or sometimes somebody would be in the middle, but usually 4 in the back.
You were
My mom and the 3 kids. And I would
Oh,
sit
but
in
1,
front.
2, 1, 2.
you were the navigator.
Well, you're sitting on a 3-passenger seat right
So you
now.
have 1, 2, 3, and then 1.
Nobody was sitting in the back.
Oh, you'd 4 people would squeeze in the.
Ah, there's the MAB. I've been with this organization for, oh my god, my whole life practically. Since I was 7. The Montreal Association for the Blind. Yeah, still go there. You should see my file. It's like, I think it's like 3 inches thick. No, it's actually much better to film now because the lighting is more stable. Earlier, it's like everything was like cast shadows on everything. It wasn't great. Yeah, it wasn't too good.
Are you filming now?
Yeah, why not? Seize the day. Seize the Oldsmobile. You're not photogenic, I guess.
No.
I didn't think so. That's why I'm just checking.
Oh, did you?
In case I veer over to the left, you're like, don't film me.
Yeah, no worries about it.
Whereas Ed wants to be a star, you know. Well, a little bit.
Somewhat indifferent to the camera.
Indifferent? Yeah, I guess you're right.
There might
Look,
not be.
we're passing my favorite there, the scrap. At least the one I was on today coming to your house had the air conditioning on, for crying out loud. It was packed. Scrap. Well, I can't imagine how long it's been since there's been this many people in here, right? the golden hour. Twilight, isn't it? So I love it. I love the lighting. You know how the sun hits everything, it looks kind of golden. You know? It's definitely deteriorating. I don't really know if that carb cleaner even did anything. I never heard of that actually.
How did you hear about that?
In the States, they have station wagon clubs, what they call it.
Bye. Boy, that looks cool from the rear though, eh? I like the rear more than the front. You got any parting words?
Good to see it on the road again.
Damn right. That's what it's all about. Preservation.